verse historically, and you have this vast discussion, and the power and beauty of the Christian faith is its ability to handle difference. That's what makes it so vibrant and alive. You see this throughout church history. You see this passionate discussion and debate all centered around the resurrected Christ. God can handle our questions. God can handle our struggles. God can even handle our disagreements. Are you with me?
Yes.
And that what Jesus comes, if you trace, a friend of mine made a list of all the places where Jesus is asked a question, and there are about 3 places where Jesus actually answers the question in a straightforward manner. Otherwise, he asks a lot of questions. What do you think? How do you read it? Or he says, good question. There was a man who found a treasure in a field. Now, why? Because, and there are a number of places where the disciples were turning to each other and going, I totally didn't get that. And actually, the humanity is our way into divinity. Jesus has students. He's teaching them, and he knows that for it to be real, you have to own it. For it to stick and be authentic, there's sometimes a bit of wrestling and struggle. So it'd be very easy for me to say, here are the 9 things, here are how they line up, just believe them, or you're going to burn. And there are wonderful Christian communities but what Jesus does is he takes a strong stand, he is very clear, and then at all of these different fascinating enigmatic key moments, he gives you a parable, he gives you a metaphor, he gives you an image. How many of you at a point in your life related to the prodigal son? Yeah. How many of you at times have been the older brother? How many times have any of you ever been the one who blessed somebody and welcomed them home? And how many of you have ever been a villager going, that is one messed up family? The power of the parable is that it is true at a whole nother level. How many of you read the parable and go, I do not live in a 1st century village and wear sandals, so this has nothing to say to me? No, it pulls you in and you find yourself in the story. And so it is true at a profound level. How does that work? So what Jesus does is he creates these scenes and he invites you to find yourself in it. And as you do it, all sorts of things happen. There's this ancient story about these 3 disciples who would study with their teacher on Friday nights, Sabbath Eve. And their teacher would read from the book of creation each Friday night. And the disciples would listen. And one night the 3 disciples are walking home. And the one says to the other 2, I'm so sorry. It was clear the whole night that the teacher talked to me, and I felt bad because I was kind of hogging the teacher. And the second one says, what are you talking about? I think it was clear to everybody that the teacher talked to me the whole night. And the third one says, no, it is I that should be apologizing to the 2 of you, because I think it was clear to everybody present that the teacher spoke to me the entire night and sort of neglected the 2 of you. And the parable goes like this. And then all 3 fell silent because they realized what has happened. So it is with the words of God, that each person says, the Spirit speaking directly to me. And perhaps this is the challenge of being a church. This is a challenge of a teacher, preacher, leader, is to create the kind of space and to be so true to the good news that each person hears what they need to hear. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, let's do it.